Rightio, here we have the Tohatsu 15 with the cover off. What we're going to do first is I've just removed the fuel hose here off the fuel filter, because what we've got to do is get down into here. I'll just zoom in there and show you. You got a little split pin right there, and that's to get the linkage off for the gears. That has to come off before you can remove the bottom unit. So I'll do that now and I'll get back to you. Okay, I've removed that split pin and just pushed that rod through so the gear linkage there that runs down to the gearbox can slide straight out. Now don't do what I did, get yourself a good pair of long nose pliers, and it should only take you about 2 minutes, not like me taking half an hour. Okay, I've just put it down on the ground. This is your lower unit here. What we're going to do is we're going to undo 1, 2, 4 bolts. That there is what we've already disconnected, and that'll slide on down, and that should just pull straight out. There's no oil coming out, there should be nothing coming out at all. So once you undo them 4, just give it a bit of a wiggle and it should pull out. So I'll do that now. Okay, there's your lower leg there, off the motor, as you can see. Now this girl here needs a bloody good clean, look at that. It's just full of salt and gunk and stuff, which means the last owner neglected it. So what we've got here, this is where your impeller sits, your water pump. So what we need to do is 1, 2, another 2 bolts on the other side, and we can slide that off and have a look under there. Let's have a look. Okay, there's your impeller there inside the housing. The impeller doesn't look too bad, but look, while you've got it out, just replace it. It's not worth a lousy 15 bucks to leave it in there. It gives you another year anyway, so you're better off doing that. Now I'll just show you this. That there is a little guide. There's a little guide that your impeller sits in. Right, that sits on the shaft here. That just goes in the shaft there, locks on, your impeller slides down on in. Do not lose that. That's very important. Make sure you pull that out. Most impeller kits you'll get a new one of them anyway, but just in case you lose the other one or whatever, it's always good to have a spare one. And as you can have a look down in here, look, all that's got to be cleaned out. All that's got to be cleaned out, all that gunk and stuff. So we'll get on to that and I'll get back to you. Well, here we go. I'm just doing a clean out. What I've done is hook the hose up with a hose clamp. And what you do is you just turn the hose on nice and gently. The dog piss is working fine, but earlier it wasn't. It was blocked up with a wasp nest, and it's taken me a good hour to unblock it. There you go. Okay, the parts have finally come in. There's your old impeller. I don't know if you can see the wear on that, the angle that it's on. Also, make sure you check that the rubber bits around the centre aren't falling off. That's another way of telling that it's had enough, seen its days. There's the new one. If you can see that, just try and get in focus a bit better for you. There you go. Okay, I'll just show you how to put it back in. Okay, I've just got it laying on the bench here. What we're going to do is put the tiny little lock sleeve in. Slides back into there. What we'll do is we'll put a bit of grease on that. So I'll just do that now. Okay, there's it in. There's your guide there, ready to go, greased. Now what we'll do is we'll slide the impeller on and in, and then what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of grease inside the housing for it, and then we'll give it a bit of a tingle and a move till it pops in, and then we'll bolt it down. Okay, there's my housing there. Put the grease in, ready to go. Now don't forget with the impeller to make sure you put that locking key back in, otherwise the impeller will just spin and it won't pump water because it won't be gripping to this. In fact, it won't even move. So very important, make sure that pin goes back in. Okay, when you've slid that over and it's touched right down the bottom, just give this proper turn to turn the shaft, and that way if it's not in properly you can push down while it's turning and it'll slide in nicely. Now all we've got to do is bolt this down. So with your screws, I normally run them on the angle grinder like the wire wheel, and then grease them up. But anything you're putting back, make sure you put grease on the nuts to make it easier for next time to get them off. Okay, there she is, all bolted on. Now make sure for these nuts or bolts, don't over tighten them. It's only a plastic covering, so just go easy on it. Now what we'll do is we'll slide this back in. We've got to make sure that the copper insert inside the leg of the motor slides into there when you're putting it in, and that's your main worry. If you don't get that in, it won't pump water. All back together and pumping water. Like a demon.